Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In today's video, we're going to be diving down into the world of Zilliqa, specifically talking about the price action of ZIL. As we get into this, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with that said, done, and out of the way, let's dive down into the charts and take a look at what's going on with ZIL. Okay guys, so here we are on ZIL. We're going to start things off with this weekly chart, and we're really going to be talking about the progress that's been made so far and where we think things are likely to go before we get into the short term and what's going on right now. There are some interesting moves, so do bear with me while I do a quick update on the weekly, and then we'll dive down into our daily and of course our hourly. Okay, so basically the bull run started back in March of 2020. Wave 1 peaked up here in June, Wave 2 bottomed out in September, Wave 3 I think many people are aware of was May 2021, before Wave 4 coming down nice and low, bottoming that out in July, and obviously we're in that fifth wave. So basically what we're doing about, or talking about here specifically, are 5 impulsive waves to the upside, okay? As a part of these 5 impulsive waves, there are 2 downtrends. We have Wave 2 and we have Wave 4, okay? 2 down and 3 up. So Wave 1 is up, Wave 3 is up, and Wave 5 is up, okay? Pretty basic stuff. Now, from here, there's several rules that we have to make sure are adhered to, and to make sure that ultimately, that this is not invalidated and that we are actually, in fact, in these impulsive moves to the upside. First thing that we need to acknowledge is that Wave 4 should never cross Wave 1. And this rule has been in place for ZIL, so absolutely nothing to worry about there. Ultimately, we are going to be taking some pretty good traction to the upside for Wave 5. Now, on this weekly chart, above and beyond just the 5 impulsive moves, we also have a Fibonacci retracement tool, but this is not just a regular fib. This is actually a trend-based fib, okay? So because we have a reasonable amount of data now as we come towards the end of the bull run, what we can do is actually take into consideration the trends that we've had. So our downward trend for Wave 2, the upward trend for Wave 3, and the downward trend for Wave 4. If we take into consideration all 3 of those trend lines, then we can actually predict out where we approximately expect Wave 5 to end. Okay, so take the low area of Wave 2, the high area of Wave 3, and the low area of Wave 4. Take those 3 trends into consideration, and we can see ZIL moving out to $1.07, okay? This is based on the trends of the bull run, therefore highly probable that the 5th wave and the last leg of the bull run is likely to end in this area. Now, this is the full 4.236 extension of $1.07. So again, if something fundamentally shifts and changes with Zilliqa, positive, then do expect a higher push. And if something negatively impacts the fundamentals, then do expect it to fall short of that. Okay, that's kind of basic. But if everything continues as it has been in the past, 18 months, then the probability is that it's going to end up at about $1.07. Okay, that's kind of what the fib is basically telling us. Based on these trends, these patterns, this is where the next step should actually be. Now, obviously, progress has been relatively slow, and again, this is something that frustrates people in the space. However, on this note, it's important that we also acknowledge that not all altcoins, not all cryptocurrencies push up at the same time, right? We're a very small industry, and what tends to happen is that people FOMO in chasing green candles. So all the money tends to kind of gravitate towards 1 or 2 or 3 specific coins. They go absolutely mental. They set new all-time highs, and they absolutely pop massively to the upside. Maybe they even achieve their full 4.236 extension, and then money rolls out, profit rolls out of those into different altcoins that haven't yet pumped. And of course, they start pumping. People start FOMOing in, and they start chasing the green candles. It's a cycle that continues and repeats itself over and over again. So although Zilliqa hasn't gone yet, it has been slow. This is actually an opportunity, because it just means that money hasn't rolled into Zilliqa just yet. Now, there is, of course, going to be fresh money that comes into the space. That's a bit of a given, but that's not going to happen just yet. At the moment, all you're seeing is the same kind of level of market cap within crypto, just rolling around the different coins themselves. Once actually you start seeing FOMO, that's where you start seeing pretty much most of the altcoins going all at the same time. And this is what you saw with Wave 3. Okay, so right now, although some coins have gone ahead and set some all-time highs, this is based on money rolling around the market, right? Some projects have dropped down whilst other ones have gone up. Just take a look at Solana, for example, which I think is highly risky considering the amount of billionaires who basically bought it at pre-sale, a private sale, and then are just waiting to dump those bags on people. They're just vesting at the moment. And the second that they are out of that, they are not holding that coin. They're going to be jumping SOL as fast as they can. So it's important that you acknowledge what's going on in the background to this thing. And if you can ever actually get hold of the information around private sales and when the vesting periods are actually up, very important that you understand that for your coins, specifically if you're in something like Solana with billionaires who don't actually care about the project. It's just about making money, bought it at a fraction of a cent, and they are waiting to basically just be allowed to sell their bags. Okay, so to see Solana going the way that it is and seeing people FOMOing into it is very, very dangerous in my opinion. And it's much better to be doing your research in a bear market, build your positions in the bear market, have a good exit strategy, and actually have achieved it. For Solana, for example, way back, I predicted $185 Solana. That was the 4.236 extension. That would have been a fantastic point to actually have taken the majority of your profit, in my opinion, and leave a little bit in your bag for overextending. Yeah, it's achieved very, very well right now. But I do not anticipate Solana continuing. I think that money is going to start rolling out of Solana into another project. Maybe it'll even roll into Polkadot, which would be the next one with parachain auctions to kind of really go a bit crazy with FOMO and again, people chasing those green candles. My point here is eventually all of that activity is going to roll down into Zilliqa. And when it does, we are talking about moving up quite significantly. Now for Zil, we have got the cup and handle pattern. We've spoken about this a couple of times. This is actually targeting out just short of 19 cent. And again, that's something that we can talk about. I think timing, we could have deviated away from it. So I think we should have actually started to see better traction than we have done for cup and handle. So I'm going to say, actually, I think that although the cup and handle pattern is still technically there, I don't think it's actually going to come into fruition. I think we're going to see something different happen in terms of Zil. Now, what we're going to do is jump down into our daily. Here we can obviously see some of the most recent things that have been going on. We also have a different fib here. Okay, so we just take a more conservative approach to the price action of Zilliqa. We just take a look at two trends, or actually one trend specifically, and that's the high point of wave 3 and the low point of wave 4, and the downtrend between where Bitcoin was at 65k to 28k, that downtrend, just that one trend alone. And you get a conservative prediction for 4.236 at 92.5 cent. So if we were to be, conservative over trying to lock in profits and not get trapped in a bear market with a bag that we never actually intended to take down into the bear market, then taking a look at these areas here of around 92.5 cent. Or 79.7, 59.1. These are going to be interesting areas. And like we often say on the channel, we sell on the way up, right? We don't want to sell on the way down. So it's important that we, analyze various different levels of our fibs and basically try to trade around those. So we might lose a portion of our bag here at 38 cent. We might lose another portion at 59 cent. We might lose another portion at 79. And of course, we might lose a portion at 92.50, right? And like a lot of you may have heard, right, there's dollar cost average, or DCA, okay? And you DCA into a project such as, your dollar cost average by buying every dip. But you can do the very same thing on the way out. You can dollar cost average your way out of the market. What was your average exit price? It's the same way as your average entry point, right? So it's important that we acknowledge that you don't want to necessarily end up with a bag that you're going to be dragging into the bear market. There are some projects that we are going to be doing that with. We're not selling any 𝗕𝗓, for example. We're not going to sell off anything that's in our pools for Harmony 1 or for 𝗕𝗓, for example, right? They're remaining the same. But for the most part, we said this before in the live stream, we're pretty much going to sell about 90% of the bag. Zilliqa will be one of those. I will be selling on the way up for Zilliqa when it hits these thresholds, and I will be buying it back, hopefully in the bear market, as long as nothing fundamentally has shifted and changed. So where we are actually currently, take our current price position up to that 92.5 cent, that's a 752% move. Not the best, but gains are still left on the table, and this one is yet to actually pop, so we have got some pretty good opportunities still here if you want to manage your expectations, right? So current price 10 cent, pushing up to theoretical 92.50. There's a 9x in that, okay? Don't think you're going to do 100x or any crazy number like that, but you're going to make a little bit of profit if you wanted to, I am sure, by the end of the bull run. Right, so the daily chart's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty interesting. We had the downward trend, we had the upward trend, we had the breakout, but we haven't really performed in the way that we would expect from this kind of breakout. So what's actually going on? When we jump down into our hourly view, this is where things get interesting. So I've started to map out this move, okay? And this is an interesting one. So we've had the pullback into this last little leg here, and this potentially now could spike up quite massively. So what we're really looking for here is the next move. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully map this out for you so it makes a little bit more sense. I'm just going to remove some of these pieces of data. So basically this is what we've got. We've got these two trend lines we can see here. And actually what's inside here is a bunch of ABCs. First of all, we have the ABC down. So we have an A, we have a B. I'm going to draw these so that you can see the letters, but basically you have A, you have B, you have C. Okay, and this is your downward trend. From here, you actually have an A through E, right? So your A is down here, your B is up here, your C would be here, we have D, and then we have an E, right? Some interesting kind of moves going on here with this triangular wedge that's been forming. Now, for the most part, this C should have actually been lower than this E. And I was trying to map it out any other way, but I couldn't see it. So this is looking the way that it is, which is unfortunate. But I do think it's not the neatest example, but it is something that is forming here. So I do want to kind of just articulate it across to you guys. So basically A, B, C, D, E, right? Each one of these is full of an A, B, C. Move to the upside or to the downside, okay? So we have an A, we have a B, and we have a C. Again, we have an A, B, and a C, okay? And he says if he actually draws that correctly. Where are we? Here we are. So we have an A, a B, and a C. And then one last one, we have the A, the B, and the C coming in here, okay? And basically, although that's not very neat, what it means is you actually get into this triangular wedge. So this is an Elliott wave triangle, although our C is actually higher than our E, which is unusual. I don't like it. It's not the neatest, but it still fits into the model here. And from here, we are looking for an impulsive move out. Okay, so this is what we're waiting for. Now, we can see that we had this pullback within this second wave here, and ultimately, this could be something that we are waiting just to drop down a little bit lower. Okay, because with the second wave and the fourth wave, you're normally looking for A, B, and C corrections. Okay, so we're looking to just complete that C as we lower our stochastic down into the oversold area, and then we're looking to break out of the downward trend, and we push up higher than all of these other C waves that we had at the top here, and then higher than our B wave. Okay, and that's what we're kind of looking for the breakout. We want to push this much higher on the way through. So again, for this, our target should it could easily quite be right up here on our resistance line of 12 cents. Right, I think that's too much to push for in one go, but again, that would be a good indication of things to come. Okay, we're then going to expect a pullback within our fourth wave. Again, this would be an ABC on the bigger time frames, but would also look like potentially a triangular wedge as well, because these tend to actually form on our fourth wave corrections. Okay, so we'll be watching that. But right now, all eyes are on lowering that stochastic and getting this traction to a big push to the upside for wave 3. And what we're not wanting to do is push down lower than our originating or low wave E. If we do, then actually we are not looking impulsive to the upside. But this is looking pretty interesting right now. Okay, so once we finish this off, we could potentially be in for a big push with ZIL to the upside. So what I wanted to kind of communicate over to you guys, it is looking very interesting, and we could potentially start to talk about moving up to 12 cents, which will be our next resistance blocker, before pushing past that and turning that into a support line. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.